Okay, very good morning to everyone. So today is 18 June 2021, Friday. So this morning our lessons will be done by Google Meet again, but we change our time from 7:30 to 8:15 because actually our time is 8:30 to 9:30, is it? But 8:30 to 9:30 I have Google Meet with 5 unggul. So we do it earlier lah. Kecuali kalau Anda mempunyai Google Meet pada waktu ini juga. So cikgu akan buat secara video recording. Okay. So last lessons we have already learned about what we learned about. We learned about drawing the histogram graph, right? Graph of histogram, and then after that, a graph of a frequency polygon, and also some of the graph we combine histogram and polygon, frequency polygon, and both graph we use frequency against the midpoint, frequency against midpoint. Actually, we also can draw by using frequency against lower and upper boundary. But to avoid confusing, so I think that we just do frequency against midpoint. Frequency against midpoint. Okay, so this morning we go to page 105. 105. Compare and interpret. Compare and interpret the dispersion best. This one is the best. Compare and interpret the dispersion based on histogram and frequency polygon. Okay, so this time the KSSM we not only need to know how to draw the histogram and frequency polygon graph, but we also need to know how to do the comparison if you are given two graphs, and then you need to know how to interpret. Normally interpret about the dispersion. Normally the dispersion is larger or bigger if our graph is like that, bell shape. Bell shape. And then in additional maths also you have learned about bell shape. That is normal distributions. Okay. So the distributions distribution shape of data. Shape of distribution is symmetry. Symmetry. Okay, if the shape and the size of the distribution are almost the same, dia adalah symmetry. If the size and shape almost the same, when divided into two parts, that is the left and right. Okay, and then the shape of the distribution is skewed if one tail of the histogram is longer than another tail. Kalau kita punya histogram, salah satu ekor dia adalah lebih panjang daripada satu lagi, biasanya itu kita panggil skew. Skew maksudnya pencong, dia ada pencongan, ada di sini pencong. Okay, dia bukan symmetry. Symmetry means the left hand side and right hand side is equal, right? So we look at the diagram here. The first one is a symmetry histogram. Symmetry is like that. This one. Okay, this is symmetry. Okay, and then this is the axis of symmetry in the middle. So this one we call it bell shape. Bell shape. And then the second time is this is if our graph is like that, macam mentata saja kan. This one is uniform shape. Uniform shape. And both this graph is under symmetry histogram. Symmetric histogram. Ini juga dikira simetri lah, sebab kalau kita lukis separuh dia pasti simetri lah, tapi dia punya graf tidak bukan bell shape lah. So ini bell shape ini adalah yang paling standard punya lah, paling standard punya. So you punya SPM bagaimana kita nak menentukan berapa markah calon itu boleh mendapat grade A, grade B, grade C, grade D, grade E, grade F. Itulah kita gunakan bell shape. So in the middle of this is middle is the mean, middle tengah-tengah dia mean lah. Mean. Okay. And then mungkin normal distribution will be learn more about this normal bell shape lah. Okay. So tapi inilah kita guna untuk mengetahui ya bagaimana grade itu diberilah dalam SPM semua kita tahulah. Bell shape. Okay. Symmetry, and then the same shape and size are almost the same. Okay. And then the next one is about scale histogram. Just now is a symmetry histogram, right? This is scale histogram. Scale histogram we have two. One is a right scale and another one is a left scale. Right scale and left scale for the scale histogram. How we know that this is left scale or right scale? Okay, we look at the graph. If the tail is longer to the right side, that is a scale. Because the right ini maksudnya kita tengok dia punya tail, dia punya ekor. Dia kalau ekor memanjang ke kanan, so that is a right scale. Okay, this one graph like this. Okay, and then if left scale, the tail is on the left side. Okay, so like something like this. Okay, all right. So maksudnya right scale means most of the data are focused on left side. Ini fokus di sinilah, kebanyakan di situ. Dia terbalik. Bukan kata right scale dia punya data focus on the right, bukan. Dia hanya ekor panjang dia ke kanan. Tetapi majority data dia adalah menumbu ataupun fokus pada left side. Okay. Sama juga untuk left scale, the most of the data focus on the right side, this side. Okay, this side. Okay. Yeah, so left and right scale. I think this also you will be learned in additional maths. There is a distributions. Apa tajuk? Probability of distribution saya rasa. 5 ada. Okay. And then all this you can found in your textbook lah, sebab ini saya memang ambil dari textbook. Okay, other distribution shape, we have a U shape. Okay, if your graph, if your histogram is something like this, a U shape. Okay, and then J shape. This is a J lah. Macam ini ya, J lah. Okay, so perkataan U, J, okay. Ini hanya beberapa bentuk lain lah. And then the next is reverse J shape, reverse J. Inilah J terbalik. And the last one is a bimodal. Bimodal means we have two modal. We have two mod on the in the set of data. Dalam satu data set itu kita ada dua. Bukan model, sorry, mod. MODE, mod. Dia ada dua mod. Contohnya dua ini sama frekuensi kan. Mod ada dua. Dia macam ini, naik turun, ada dua. So this is bimodal graph lah. Okay. So the most important I think is this one lah, bell shape, and then left and right scale. Left and right scale. Itu yang perlu awak faham lah ini ya. Okay. Alright. So next we go to example 5. We discuss it all together. Okay. So before we start, maybe I check the attendance first. Belum ambil lagi. Siapa tak ada? 15. So means that we have 13. Alia, Clarissa, Diane, Evelyn, Gloria, Jane, Joseph, Nur Shafika, Rooney, Rosiana, Stephanie. Your line is okay, Stephanie? Shafika. Stephanie?
Okay, sir.
Okay, so this morning absent is Elena, Nazim, kenapa Nazim, and also Won. Okay, so the total is 13, okay. So itu jumlah yang akan saya laporkan ke atasan, sebab many report we need to send every time after we finish the class. Inilah semua nak kita isi ya. Jadi kehadiran memang salah satu perkara yang penting lah. Okay. So tak hadir lah. Macam itulah. So saya isi sajalah yang tidak hadir. Okay. Now we go to the example 5. Solve each of the following. Number 1, not number 1, the A. The histogram below shows the masses of patients in two different groups. So here we have two different group A and group B, patient. And then we discuss about the masses. Masses maksudnya berat badan lah. Jisim, berat badan. Okay, kalau kita tengok graf yang pertama for the group A, we can see that our graph is something like this, is it? Okay. And then for the group B graph, the number of patients against the max, dua-dua ini sama lah, just bentuk graf yang lain. This one is very beautiful. Okay. So we know that this one is bell shape, is it? Bell shape. How about this one? What is the shape here? Nur Shafika. What is the shape for this histogram?
Left skew.
Yes, you are correct. Left skew. Okay, maybe you can write here lah. Left. Bagaimana skew? Ini belum bangun lagi ni. Because sleep very late last night. Okay, left skew. Then this is a bell shape. Okay. So we need, if you can, we just write in the beside the graph law. Okay, so this question is asked you to do the interpretations, interpret law, analysis, buat sikit analysis. Okay, number 1, state the shape of the distributions of both graph, of both group of patients, both group. Okay, so you can write like this. Number 1, for group A, you can write slightly skew to the left. Okay, slightly skew to the left, ataupun left skew pun boleh lah sebenarnya, saya terima lah. And then how about the group P? Group P is very clear, is a bell shape. Okay, bell shape. Ada bell shape itu ada dash ke? Ada. Okay, ya, ini dia, bell shape. Okay, so state the shape. Boleh kan, Jen? Can you follow, Jen? Okay, How about Alia? Alia?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Alia, long time no see. Oh, okay. Okay, sudah.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. B, which group of patient has a wider, wider maksudnya dia mempunyai serakan wider dispersion of the mass, serakan gising yang lebih luas. Makan mana kita tengok luas so kalau dia wider maksudnya wider dispersion dia punya graph mesti macam group B, bell shape. Itu adalah yang paling lebar, paling luas, paling luas Kalau left scale, right scale itu bukan sebab dia ada sebahagian yang tidak ada apa dia punya luas adalah kurang. Contohnya macam ini kalau you kira ini punya luas memang kurang daripada yang ini. So kalau dia nak sebar luas, dia mesti bentuk bell shape. So the wider dispersion is group B lah. Okay, group B. Which group, right? So you write down number 2. You write the dispersion of group B is wider than group A. The dispersion of group B is wider than group A. And then you need to give your reason. So I have tell you that most of the time now in KSSM, normally at the end of the question, you are asking to give justification, give reason. All this is about the Hawks, kebat. Okay, give your opinion lah. Why? For example, why you say that the dispersion of group B is wider than group A? What is the reason? Okay, because I'll write down now because the difference not difference different okay the difference of the masses of the mass is larger. Okay, so the group B, the patient, the mass of patient group B is have a difference, bigger, larger difference. Dia punya beza lebih besar. Beza lebih besar. Sebenarnya beza apa? Beza mean lah. Sebab dispersion ini dia adalah tengok berapa jauh nilai tata itu daripada mean. So sudah. So saya boleh tunjuk di sini kalau ini mean dia, ini beza dia. Kan? And then kalau ini tadi mean dia, beza dia ini. Kita tengok mana satu dia punya beza. Ini group B punya apa bezanya data itu dengan mean lebih besar kan? This is bigger, is it larger? This is larger. Ini kecil sikit. Itu kita cara tengok lah. So because the difference of the mass is larger. Difference of the mass is larger. Maksudnya yang paling berat mungkin hampir 80. Paling kurang berat itu 54, 55. So kalau beza dia lebih kurang 25. Kan? Tetapi kalau ini paling kecil hampir 60. Paling besar 80, 20 saja jarak dia. So ini lebih kecil lah. So the group B is the difference of the masses is larger. So difference bigger means dispersion is wider. Dispersion is wider. Okay. So number 3. Okay, number 3. If one of the group has to follow an activity to reduce the body weight, which group is more suitable to follow the activity? Give your justification. Now is justification. So in your opinion, which group need to follow the activity to reduce their body weight? Maksudnya mana satu kumpulan yang dikatakan sudah gemuk lah macam itulah. So dia perlu menyertai aktiviti senamang untuk mengurangkan berat badan. So group A or group B? Clarissa, group A or group B need to follow the activity?
Group A.
Yes, very good. Group A. Group A. Patient in group A. Patient in group A need to follow the activity. Tak perlu tulis panjang-panjang lah. Tulis patient in group A, kita sudah tahu awak jawab soalan lah. Okay, patient in group A kena ikut. Kenapa? Sebab kalau kita tengok graf dia, ini graf dia menumbu ke kanan kan. Menumbu ke kanan maksudnya kanan ini mesti lebih berat. Berat badan dia sudah meningkat lebih tinggi di sebelah kanan kan, 70 lebih, 80 lebih. Okay, so dia inilah kebanyakan, maksudnya most of the patient in group A melebihi berat badan yang sepatutnya lah. Dia itulah mereka perlu mengikuti aktiviti ya. Justification because most of the masses of patient in the group are larger than in group B ya. Kerana kebanyakan berat badan ataupun jisim pesakit dalam grup A adalah lebih besar daripada grup B. Ya. Sebab kalau graf dia bell shape, dia normal lah kiri kanan. Ada yang patient yang berat badan dia rendah kurang, ada yang tinggi. Tetapi untuk graf kumpulan A itu, kalau you tengok graf itu, most of the patient, kebanyakan left skew maksudnya dia menumbu ke kanan. So kebanyakan berat badan mereka menumbu ke kanan. Ke kanan itu berat badan dia lebih besar kan, lebih tinggi kan nilai dia. So because most of the masses of patient in the group are larger than in group B. That is the reason. Okay, so you can write down. Okay, I give you 1 or 2 minutes to write it. And then if you have already, you can go to try to solve example 5B. Example 5B, Example 5B, okay? 1 minute. Okay. Okay, we continue. Next example. Okay, example B. Okay, example B. Okay. The frequency polygons below shows the age of customers watching the films in hall M and hall N in a cinema at a certain time. Now we cannot go to cinema anymore. Saya rasa dalam beberapa tahun inilah. Okay. So this is hall M. Maybe you can highlight the hall M. Okay, the graph is like this. Hall M. Okay. Kalau awak tengok hall M, what is the shape of the graph? What is the shape of the graph, Rosiana? Hall M.
Right here.
Yes. Hall M, actually, hall M we can say is right. Skill. Right skill. Pencong ke kanan. Yeah, right skill. Pencong ke kanan. Okay. How about for do atau bulat? Ho eng. Ho eng. This one, ho eng. Ho eng. Ini dia. Apa ho eng ini? Rooney. Ho M.
Bimodal graph.
Bimodal. If you say bimodal, not bimodal because we have three, 1, 2, 3, tiga sama. Kalau kita nak kata dia punya model sama, 3 model. 3. Kan? Tapi, apa dia?
U-shape.
So what is the shape here?
U-shape. U-shape.
Tak dengar saya. Boleh kuat sikit tak?
U-shape.
U-shape. If you look at the graph, U-shape is something like this one. If you look this is a U-shape. Kalau kita punya graph, dia macam ini ya, naik turun kan. And then kebanyakan di sini rata kan. So ini sebenarnya ialah apa dia? Uniform shape. Uniform shape. Uniform shape. This one, uniform shape. Uniform shape. Ada tiga uniform shape. Yeah. Okay. So you just write down the questions, the answer for number 1. State the shape of the data distribution in both data. So number 1, OM. OM is right still. And then the whole N uniform shape. Uniform shape. Okay, uniform shape. Okay, Diane?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, number 2. Okay, number 2. Which hall has a wider dispersion of age of customer? Give your reason. Which one? M or N? Mommy or Nanas? Stephanie? Any idea? Stephanie, are you sleeping?
No.
Yeah. So what is your answer? Which hole? M or N?
No, sir.
Huh? Which hole has a wider dispersion? Huh?
N.
Yes. So hole M. Hole M. Okay. So you write down the dispersion of H of customer. In hole M is what we call is wider than in hole N. Okay, tadi kita sudah katalah kalau dia punya bentuk ialah left scale, right scale, dia mesti wider. What is the reason? Okay, so kita tengok beza the difference is like that. Okay, saya terang balik. Mungkin awak ada yang keliru. For example A just now, you look at the difference. This is 59.5, is it? And this one is 79.5. So the difference between this, so it's 79.5 minus 59.5 is 20. Is 20, the difference. And then for the bell shape, the smaller is 54.5. The biggest is 79.5. So 79.5 minus 54.5. So this is no, 25. Yes, 25. So which one is bigger? 25 is bigger. Is wider. Dia lebih luas. Lebih luas. Sorry bukan tengok dia punya bentuk lah. Bell shape mesti lebih luas. Tidak semesti. Kita kena tengok dia punya beza. So after minus this is 25, this is 20. So 25 is wider than 20 lah. Okay, so this is for example A. Okay, now for the example B, also we count like this. Okay, for the whole M, so this is 2, this is 37. 37 minus 2, so 35 for the whole M. And then for the whole N, okay, this is from 12 to 37, right? 37 minus 12, only 25. Right, so which one is wider? 35 is wider. This is wider. This is wider. So that's why we say that the whole M, the dispersion of whole M is wider than whole N. We do the differences, cari beza dia. So itulah sebabnya whole M lebih lebar, dia punya serakan lebih lebar. Sebab beza dia lebih besar. Beza ialah from the maximum minus the minimum. Maximum minus minimum. Okay, and then for the last one, the hole, in your opinion, which hole is showing a children's sperm? Give your justification. Kalau kita tengok umur, ini umur, untuk Dewan M ini, Mami ini, dia punya umur paling muda 2 tahun. Ada penondong umur dia 2 tahun. Kemudian untuk Dewan N, Dewan Nanas ini, umur dia paling muda 12 tahun. 12 tahun lah. Okay. Jadi, kalau macam itu, in your opinion, which hole is showing a children fun? Give your justification. Mana satu menayangkan filem kanak-kanak? Filem kanak-kanak. So, Evelyn, what is your answer for the number 3?
N.
Yes, hole N. Ho mami, ho M. So ho M is a Chauvin, a children firm. Okay. Okay. So and then give your justification. Justify why you say that is a ho N, because most of the customers age are younger. Is it? Dia punya umur paling muda 2 tahun, 7 tahun. Okay, 27. Dia adalah most, ataupun kalau you tidak mau kata most, you can say the part of the customer lah, sebahagian. No? Because part of the customer age are younger. Ya, memanglah kalau budak umur 2 tahun, 3 tahun, hingga 7, 8 tahun itu dia tengok movie kanak-kanak lah. Okay, so this is for interpretation for the histogram graph, and this is frequency polygon 1. Just now A is a histogram, now B is a frequency polygon. Okay, so we have still 8 minutes to stop. I will stop at 15 because after that I need to prepare for 8:30 another group of students. Okay, sudah? Okay, now actually in our statistic we have 3 type of graph. Number 1 is histogram, senang, dan just a bar chart, not bar chart, the bar graph. And number 2 is the frequency polygon. Frequency polygon, you can draw it yourself, or you can continue after you draw the histogram. Okay, so all these two is frequency against midpoint. But actually we have another graph that is ogive. Okay, ogive, the graph of the ogive not more frequency against midpoint, but we use cumulative frequency. Cumulative frequency against not midpoint, upper boundary. Upper boundary. So remember our graph for ogive, cumulative frequency against the upper boundary. Dia tidak sama dengan histogram and frequency polygon. We use frequency against midpoint. So itu beza dia. Kalau tadi dua ini dia punya graph frequency lawan midpoint. Okay. Tetapi ogive tidak. Ogive memang tidak sama. Memang tidak sama. Okay. So ini langkah lukis, awak boleh baca. Dia punya bentuk memang macam ular S. Ular S. That's why we call it S shape lah. Okay, and then ogive very useful for determining the quartiles and also the percentiles. Okay, so the quartiles and percentiles notes you can read first. Okay, tapi kita tak akan bincang pagi ini, tak sempat. So kita hanya buat graph dulu bagi ini. We do the graph. Okay, where is the graph? Okay, so first of all, later on you need to take a photo for page 107 only. This morning you only need to take photo for 107. One student, one photo only. Okay, but now we continue page 109 and example 6A and 6B. Saya tidak sempat bincang dua-dua. So nanti yang selebihnya sebagai kerja rumah awak lah. Sedikit saja. Okay, so this is another time. This is cumulative frequency table. So before this, we also already learned about cumulative frequency. So this is 100 to 199, 200 to 299, and so on. Awak continue. Frequency already given 2, 5, 6, 4, 2, 1. 2, 5, 6, 4, 2, 1. Okay, ini potong. Kenapa ada lebih satu? Okay, upper boundary 199.5 299.5 and so on. Ambil yang ini, 0.5. And then cumulative frequency yang saya nak bincang di sini, cumulative frequency 2 plus 5, 7. Ini sudah kita buat sebelum ini ya, tapi kita ulang balik. Okay, 7 plus 6, 13, plus 4, 17, plus 2, 19, plus 1, 20. Okay, now we draw the graph. Okay, we draw the graph. Mana graph saya? Okay, ini. Okay ya, so ini boleh ya. Okay, so saya letak di tepi. So kita lukis graph. Okay, harap cepat. Kita buat cepat. Okay, we still use the first quadrant. Kita punya graph memang dalam sukuan satu saja. Ini saya kecilkan 33. Okay, boleh kecilkan sikit lagi. Okay. Okay, so kalau tepat kita gunakan inilah. So sebab dia hanya 20. Nanti kita pakai C-fill 2 lah untuk y-axis Untuk y-axis. Okay, make sure that your graph kena lukis dengan clear. Okay. First quadrant Okay. So for the y-axis this is 0, 2, 4. Kita kena tengok lah dia punya cumulatif sampai 20. 20 kita pakai C-fill 2 lah. Kalau pakai C-fill 5 terlalu pendek nanti graf awak. Okay, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, and until 20. Mungkin awak tengah dulu nanti baru lukis lah. So ini awak tulis cumulative frequency. Okay. Lepas itu yang bawah ini. Okay, ini ialah upper boundary. Upper boundary. Okay, ini awak boleh tulis dulu. Ini from 199.5, 299.5, 399.5, 499.5, until the last one, 599.5 and 699.5. Okay, so now you try to plot. Number one, 199.5, the cumulative is 2, and then 7, middle 6 and 8. After that 13, 13. After 13, 17, memang semakin tambah lah. 17, 19, the last one is 20. Kalau kita tengok graf, okay, dia terkandung kan? Terkandung di sini maksudnya dia tengok kalau you sambung dari sini ya. So ingat dia mesti mula dari 0. So actually why the table just now we have one more row, because actually you can add one more class interval before the first class interval. That is a 0 to 99. So the lower boundary, the upper boundary is 99.5. So we plot here 0. Remember, the graph for the frequency polygon, we start from 0, ended with 0 also. And then for the ogive, we start from 0. We start from 0. Okay? Jadi kalau tadi Raja ini, kalau awak tambah 0 to 99 and then frequency 0, upper boundary 99.5, cumulative 0, yes, you can start from 0 if you want. But if you don't want to start from 0, you need to know that your graph should be start from 0. Itu penting. Okay. So we connect all the point. This is using the manual. Pakai manually lah. Pakai manually. Okay. Kita lukis secara manual because this is a curve, not straight line. Curve. This is a curve. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so this is your graph. This is, we call it, kecilkan lagi ya, ogive. Ogive. Dah nampak tak? Okay, tak nampak pun dia walaupun kecilkan sekejap. Okay, inilah. Ingat bawah ini macam ini upper boundary. This is upper boundary from one class before that, 99.5, until the last one, 699.5. And then the y-axis is a cumulative frequency, 0 to 4. Just now, if you use a scale 5, 10, 15, 20, only until here. So your graph is very small. Tak boleh lah. Okay. So the graph is something like S shape, right? S shape. S shape. S shape. Okay, so ini curve lah. So nanti awak buat A and B. This is A. This is A. So after that you do B. We have another questions. So as your exercise. So sebab tak sempat nak hantar 8.5 kan. Jadi awak hanya perlu ambil gambar untuk muka surat. Oh sorry, bukan muka surat 107 but 106 and 107. 106 to 107, you take a photo for these two pages. One student, two pages, sorry. One student, two pages. And then snap and then send it into our Telegram group. Tapi ini graph tak payah. Ini minggu depan baru awak hantar. Saya akan beritahu lah sebab awak belum siap lagi kan untuk B. Ada yang mungkin belum buat juga untuk A sebab awak masih tengah kan penerangan. So graph tak perlu dulu. Awak hanya perlu ambil gambar 106, 107. Yang contoh tadi A dan B itu kan, yang wider dispersion and so on. Okay, itu dua. Yang graph ini awak buat dulu, A and B. You do it first and then we continue our discussion on next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, 7:30 to 8:30 ya. Rooney, boleh bercakap sekejap? Rooney.
Yes, sir.
So mana awak punya poster itu?
Saya semalam suruh Eric buat, saya bagi maklumat dengan dia.
Okay, so nanti kita bincang lagi dalam grup lah.
Okay.
Okay, so thank you everybody. So I think that's all for this morning. So that's all lah. Okay, see you next Tuesday. Thank you, bye bye. Jangan lupa hantar. Okay, welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, welcome.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Sir.